Take a deep breath, please. Take a deep breath, ladies and gentlemen. The time is here. All right. Don't get too excited yet. But again, the euphoric is at an all-time high right now. Everyone is shaking, right? The super cycle might be here. We have the bull market confirmation coming along here. You guys were here from the beginning when Bitcoin was still sitting at a nice $25,000. We are back almost at all-time highs, ladies and gentlemen. Give yourself an applause right now. This is the moment to celebrate a little bit, but also not get too excited at the same time. So we're going to have a big ass stream today. We're going to talk about all of that stuff here because there are a lot of signals right now. Man, you're not gonna be too happy after this stream here. However, you should be happy right now though. Okay? Gonna be a good stream overall. Thank you guys so much for the support. Thank you guys for the amazing community building. We have been doing it together here. Okay? Man, it's absolutely remarkable. Patience pays. Patience absolutely pays here. Let's see what we have in the building today. Let's create a little bit of a slow start here because we have a lot of information to crunch, to consume. Okay. Wow. My man Gavin Dent is in the building, working hard behind the scenes as always. My man is crushing it. Thank you so much, my man. My man John. Igor is here. Also, shout out to Igor. Big shout out to Igor, by the way. Igor is handling all the shorts and everything that we're doing here. So, completely crushing it. Completely crushing it. Then we have, of course, our, cowboy. He's a real cowboy, ladies and gentlemen. Not joking. He's a real cowboy. Straight from the mountains, okay? Absolutely amazing. All the support, all the effort, all the live streams that he's doing in our Discord as well here. We're going to talk about all of that later on here. And of course, our almost methodological character right now, Trader Tim, okay? This guy has been pumping out signals for you guys through thick and thin, okay? Bull or bear, it does not matter. He delivers, okay? And that should also be very, very highly respected here. So, Tim, thank you guys. Thank you so much, man. It's unbelievable what we're building here. And this is just the beginning of something absolutely fantastic here. We all feel it right now. But again, let's take you guys back to reality a little bit here. Because again, we're seeing currently a massive meme coin explosion. And I'm going to give you some numbers in a little bit. It's disgusting. It's absolutely mind-blowing. Like the amount of money in that short period of time. We're talking about a couple days, okay? A week, if not less here. Guys, this is unheard of, all right? We're gonna talk about all of that here. Okay, looking forward to go over every single piece of information right now, including still some really nice setups that we have in our in our ammunition right now at the moment. Okay, we have definitely some setups that we're still looking at, even though it seems that we're kind of looking at a potential topping out a little bit here. Okay, but again, look at that, guys. It's absolutely unbelievable. We were talking about Bitcoin already, community-wise at least. We've been talking about it forever. But community-wise, we started talking about it around the $25,000 right here before we came into that major resistance. And we tried to already start building up our, our community, making sure that we create at least, a crypto section as well. Most of you guys that are, that don't know me, I'm actually trading Forex a lot, also live on stream here. This is actually my main source of income and everything that I do there. But of course, on the side, I was always a massive enthusiast, crypto, a DJ, you could say, but also, a realist at the same time. All right. I always believed in it, and therefore, it's happy to share and to see things coming to fruition. And that proves one more time that patience pays, man. We have to follow along here, because after we start talking about it, Bitcoin did roughly now almost at 200%. That's, more than $1 trillion, ladies and gentlemen. More than $1 trillion right now sitting there. And it's going up in a very, very rapid pace right now. We're literally 5% away from the all-time high here, sitting at $17,000 here. 5% away. And it's just this week that I felt that switch, that I felt that sentiment changing here in regards of retail, people entering the markets right now. All right, people talking about it again. Yes, we talked about it at the 50, we talked about it at the 30, but it was not the same as what we're seeing currently sitting at around $66,000 here. This is where the journey begins, okay, for a lot of people. And that's why we have to go and crunch a lot of numbers here, because I do want to prepare you for the fact that I think if we're talking about spot investments, the potential better opportunities will come along here, okay? And we're going to just look at the data, look at the facts, and look at the history. I think this is what makes the most sense here. Okay, overall, incredible here. Good to see you guys. Let's go dive straight into the actual data here, because the first thing that we have to start with, of course, is the news. And this kind of speaks for itself right now, right? Bitcoin reaches the $65,000, 6% away from its all-time high. Bitcoin passes the new all-time high in euros as prices reaches the $65,000. Bitcoin rally leaves more than 97% of addresses in profit, according to the blockchain data from people that entered, of course, right at the ETF, the spot ETF right now, when the spot ETF got released here. An incredible amount of influx of capital coming along into these traditional markets as well here, selling the government bonds or selling the treasuries and putting it into the Bitcoin spot ETF here. I mean, I think by default, that would have been a very wise decision for many investors, if you know what's coming along here. So only positive news right now, nothing negative anymore. Where's all the negative information when you need it? Huh? And where literally is all that negative? Where are these negative articles when you actually need it? Okay, that's always funny how that goes here. Obviously, the meme coins are going crazy. We're talking 43.5% in Pepe, 54.3% in Bonk today, 33.8% in Shiba, and 20% in Dogecoin here. And I'm just picking out the best ones, the biggest ones out there. Okay, but this is disgusting. And the reason why is because just simply look at Shiba Inu right now. Okay. Sitting at around a 17 billion, all right, not a million, $1 billion market cap right here, all right? And if you take this chart from 7 days ago, and we're going back to the basics, back to the beginning, all right, which is roughly what? The end of the month, the end of last month, okay? The 27th of February, the market cap was sitting around a $5.7 billion. So roughly around $11 billion came into Shiba Inu right here in the last week, okay? And that's just Shiba Inu, all right? That is absolutely mind-blowing. So the fact that this is happening here, should also be a little bit of start of some concerns. And the reason why I'm saying that is right now is because, we always should think about the perspective, okay, what is the rest liquidity? Who's the next liquidity here, okay? After these guys are buying right now, after the people that are buying right now, all these meme coins, these small meme coins, big meme coins, you name it. After that, who is left to buy? And I want you to come up with an answer, because I don't know who's left to buy after this. Okay? Yes, we might see a little bit of a continuation here still. And maybe I'm completely wrong. And maybe we're not gonna, just come down and have like some sort of flash crash in the very, very short term here. But I'm just thinking from a logical standpoint, like who is left to buy, okay? And of course, people start to make money now. People start talking about it here. But then, you will see at some point, somebody has to lose. It's still player versus player, okay? It's not you and me together, no, it's player versus player. And if there is a winner, there is a loser here. That's why we're trying to fight it as a community, and we are conquering against other communities in this industry right here, trying to become the best community out there, okay? And we're heading right now in that direction. So Shiba Inu, amazing, crazy stuff for you. Now let's talk a little bit more about the actual, fear and greed index. I think this was also something that I want to show you real quick here. Because if you simply type in the fear and greed index on Google and you go back to, the actual fear and greed, let me see where it is right now. I think it's this one. There we go. No, it's not this one. This one right here. Okay. Let's dive into the fear and greed. Okay. Look at that. We're currently sitting at an 82 right now. Okay. We're talking about extreme greed right here. Okay. This is usually, somewhere, a little bit of a danger zone. Everything about, above the 80 turns into that extreme greed mark. Okay. So we're sitting right now at an extreme. Obviously that, that makes a lot of sense. Everyone is talking about it. You can clearly see that this is kind of, what's happening right now. So that's one layer. Okay. Now coming back to the funding rates, that's actually where, I get the most amount of, significant information from, due to the fact that this is the actual fact that, we're extremely over leveraged in the markets right now. Okay. The average right now, and this is usually where we have to, you know, look at in terms of like what kind of like the limit I've seen so far. Well, we're currently sitting at a 0.783%. Okay. And if you come back to the 0.1%, so the 0.1, not the 0.078, we're almost there, but the 0.01, I've practically in my history never seen it become higher than that before some sort of crash comes. Okay. The 0.1% is usually the absolute threshold here, you know, the absolute limit in terms of what I've seen before, you know, in regards to over leveraging before it just pretty much from a, you know, realistic perspective just gets too expensive to hold your long-term position. So what people tend to do here is, you know, somewhat imagine big guys being in their positions right now at the moment. Okay. They are in extreme, you know, long positions right now. They're in ton of profits right here. And at some point, these fees are getting literally too expensive. You know, it's literally eating away from the profits you're generating. And especially if Bitcoin reaches a massive area of resistance and you are in a massive long position, then at some point you're going to tell yourself, okay, the fees are too expensive. I am a major profit. Bitcoin is a major resistance right now. So it might be better to take a little bit of profits out of the market to at least cover the fees if I'm still bullish on it in the very, very medium, medium, long term or short term, whatever the case may be here. At least I use that money to pay off the fees here. So people will start closing their positions or people will start hedging themselves. Okay. And with hedging, I mean placing a short position against their initial long position to get these fees back, right? That they initially pay when they're long. So you can go, you know, when you're trading futures, you can go long and short, right? You go long, you're in a major position. You go short, you open a big short position, right? You get paid from your shorts, or people pay the, you know, in this case, the shorters right now, you know, to hold their position here. So it's actually profitable to open a short position, all right? And you hedge yourself. And in this way, your shorts, you know, pay your longs, okay? You can wait for the resistance to be broken. And once the resistance is actually broken, then it's, you know, it's a confirmation you can close your short, for example, in a minor loss to continue your long and continue to the next leg. This is what a lot of guys are doing here. So it would not be a surprise if very, very soon here, a lot of shorts are going to get opened right now, especially above the all-time high here, okay? So that's one layer, all right? Then look at the liquidity heat map right now as well here, and let's take it to the weekly. I think this is the best, the most important chart here, okay? I was like, you know what? I expected much more liquidity on the top end as well here, but there is practically not as much as I thought there. Most of the liquidity right now is sitting below here, you know, just a couple $1 billion of liquidity resting below, you know, roughly the $61,000 here, okay? The practically last low that we created after that expansion, this is where we have seen now a significant amount of liquidity resting below, okay? And, you know, what would make me more bullish, okay, because I'm always trying to look at the bullish scenarios here, is the following, you know, a massive swipe of liquidity. So a massive swipe to the downside here, followed by a very strong push to the upside right now. So what do I mean? Well, if you go to the 1 hourly chart here, okay, and we're going to go back to that exact zone. This is where the rest liquidity is at. It's sitting around the $61,000. So what I would have seen, or what I've preferred to see here, you know, in case we would continue up here, is just something like this, right? You build that liquidity, you aggressively push down here, back towards the 58, or tapping into this demand zone right here, because you had a beautiful demand zone sitting there, still roughly around the 58, 59, you know, $60,000 here. Tap into that zone and then look for that aggressive move to the upside right here, okay? We didn't see that. We just saw, you know, a strong continuation here, followed by, of course, breaking every single layer of resistance possible here. So this is what I call the final resistance, okay? The final resistance sitting roughly around the weekly time frame at 66.1K, okay? And the reason why that's such an important level is because this is practically the last body closure off the top of Bitcoin right now. All right, the last two candles right here created the top. All right, we're trying to break through it right here. So a closure, a weekly closure above it would be absolutely you know, that will be through the roof, okay? Not talking specifically about the all-time highs. I'm talking about the 66.1K. Of course, the next one is at 69.2, 69.3, something in that matter right here. But again, Bitcoin is topping off here. Not just Bitcoin right now, okay? Bitcoin is just one of these right now that are actually tapping into that final resistance right here. But if you look at a couple other ones, okay? For example, we look at Ethereum right now. Ethereum is also sitting at a very strong level of resistance right here, okay? 3,500 to be exact here, okay? Looking at this particular high, tapping into that zone, now facing major resistance as well. We also have BNB. BNB doing the exact same thing. BNB is actually sitting right in that zone here. If you go to the monthly chart of BNB, you can see that this is now the exact body closures as well here. This is how we currently look at it. You look at these wicks, you look at these body closures, sitting at $428 right there. That's that major resistance for BNB as well, okay? BNB. Cardano, same thing. Cardano is finally back at that major bottom, okay? And you can see still how much potential it actually has for the near future. So of course, I'm extremely bullish in the near future. Don't get me wrong here. I think we're just getting started. What I'm saying here is that from a macro technical standpoint right now, we are starting to tap into all of these major key levels at this particular moment. So 80 cents for Cardano is also that major current resistance here. And the reason why I pick out these type of currencies as well. Solana, for example, same thing. The 137, same thing right here, okay? Major resistance for Solana. Also look at the weekly time frame here. This is that previous top. This is what in essence caused that bear market. This was that final squeeze, this final trying to push back up again, claim back bull territory in 2022, but failed in March, April 2022, and then of course came down, roughly around, a 92%, okay? So of course we know that this is by default already the major resistance layer, also for Solana. And the reason why I pick all of these different currencies right here is because I'm not targeting by definition just Solana or Cardano or BNB or Ethereum. Now I'm targeting the ecosystems behind it, okay? And the projects behind it. Because if Solana decides to, break out, this could be extremely bullish, not just for Solana, but also for the ecosystem and all the projects that are running on the Solana network, on the Solana blockchain. Same thing for BNB, Cardano, you name it. So I want you to be aware of this, okay? I just want you to be aware of the fact that you are now heading into that resistance right here. And I've seen many times before, the last thing that actually goes up significantly are meme coins, okay? After that, we have enough liquidity in the market to short-term exit, cover all the big boys' fees, and to then look for a next leg up here. So I just wanted to, set you back into reality right here, okay? Real quick, making sure that you are aware of the fact that this might be, a breakout scenario followed by a reversal here. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, okay? But at least I've said it. At least I know that I'm going to be careful for now until I get a further confirmation, until I get to see some sort of pullback to look for some sort of continuation here, okay? We already packed our bags here. We bought Bitcoin at 38K in the pullback already. So that's not a problem, okay? We can already start thinking about taking some profits here and looking for the next leg up. So that's all part of the game, okay? Therefore, do take that in consideration here, okay? There are still a couple projects that I think that have that incredible potential, okay? And that are actually a bit lagging behind here. And I think that if we're talking about some sort of rotation, okay, like we saw before here, okay, Bitcoin usually tends to not really come down right away. Okay, what tends to happen is that Bitcoin starts to first, after it reaches its high, it starts to consolidate a little bit. Okay, it starts to do this, build positions on either sides here, then swipes, and then potentially goes for some sort of aggressive move back to the downside here in the very short term to then potentially look for another leg up for further continuation. So when talking about that consolidation here, okay, that's the moment where you're going to see that final squeeze happening for some of these projects, all right? For potential scenarios, projects that have not, broken out yet, that are a little bit lagging, that are trying to catch up before we're going to see some sort of, pullback right here. So one of these ones is AVAX, okay? And we've been talking about AVAX for a while already. I'm extremely bullish about the AVAX subnet and everything that they're creating in general. The price of the fees for each transaction is 100 times lower, or if not, 100 to 5,000 times lower than the Ethereum, gas fees in that matter here. So when talking about integration and talking about, long-term prosperity, I think that AVAX has a significant edge there and is doing a lot of good things. The team is working very, very hard. Yeah, the project has actually been coming down recently and has actually been lagging a little bit here. So what we're doing right now with AVAX is we're building that huge daily wedge right now, and we're breaking just above the previous high. And the reason why this is important is if you go and you zoom in real quick here, okay, and you look at practically this high, and you're looking at that retest, we're trying to hold above the 42.384 right now at this particular moment. And, this could simply lead still into that massive, massive continuation right here. So I'm extremely bullish still on AVAX in the very, very short term. I think that AVAX is gonna do good things in the short term. And I think AVAX has, to catch up a little bit with what the others have been doing here, especially when looking at, the Solana here, the Cardano, okay, the BNB, all of that stuff here, the Ethereum, also very, very important. So AVAX right now as a, let's say layer one, I think that AVAX is one of these that still has some catching up potential to do here. Another one, and I think a lot of people have been sleeping on this one as well here right now at the moment. And I don't know why that is. It's actually quite interesting here. But that's Polkadot, okay? Polkadot as well, man. Great project, great team. People have been sleeping on Polkadot, especially this current run, okay? And you can see it clearly happening here. However, you can definitely see right now at the moment that we have been finally breaking above that major resistance here. And again, we're talking about the resistance from August 2022. So, we're talking about a year and a half of consolidation, okay? Followed by some sort of trend line breakout, retest, and now a final breakout of the previous high here. This of course speaks for itself, and this also looks extremely bullish. So, any retest back to the $9 here will be a perfect short-term, buy or trade or confirmation or whatever. But this could also simply very easily still lead in that continuation right now back towards, the $12.6 right here and the 14, okay? So that's still a long way to go if you look at where the price currently is at. We're talking about a 25%, 30% here, when looking at this particular trade here. Tim says, into a nice long from the $7.7 from the signal channel. Hey man, that's even better, okay? Now you have the confirmation and now you can look for a continuation. So, that's a long-term, that's a hold right there, especially if you're in it from the 7.7. Absolutely no surprise here, okay? That makes me want to go back indeed to the crypto wins as well, because the community has been absolutely exploding and growing, okay? And, we also have some important news to tell you guys here, because at the beginning, we were like, what we're going to do? We're going to create a win-win situation for everyone. We're still going to do this, by the way. But what happened was, okay, what we wanted to create was this. You sign up with an exchange. You deposit $100 on your account. You follow Tim's signals, which are unbelievable. Okay, we need to just scroll through the wins here. Let me see where the signals are at. Win, 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 win. Win, win, win. Yesterday. Win, 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 win. Big win. This is Cowboy. Oh no, this is Faruque. I thought it was Cowboy. Cowboy's always winning. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Total February overview portfolio grew over 110%. Win rate of 73.3%. 30 trades, 22 wins and 8 losses. Okay. So that's absolutely fantastic here. We're not talking about winning every single trade. We're talking about ending up in profit at the end of the month, which what matters the most here. So if you exactly follows Tim's signals here, you should have an incredible amount of results here. However, we felt that it was not really respected. And the reason why, for a long period of time, we wanted to create a win-win situation for everyone. We said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to create a win-win situation where people can sign up to an exchange. You become a partner of the Limitless Trading Academy. You deposit $100 in your account and you follow Tim's signals. Okay. And that was a great idea. if everyone was doing it. But what happened was people started to sign up, put $100 on their account, remove their $100, and then start trading with their own account, which they're already used to or something like that. And then they were in the community, just coming along here. And then Tim is working his ass off to provide you with the best signals, while we are not indirectly profiting from it without even you having to pay us. Think about that. You don't even have to pay us. You just have to trade on an account here. That didn't happen anymore. So we had to change it up, and we had to decide, okay, the results speak for themselves. We're not talking about a single month of, trading here and a single month of potential, being in profit and track records. No, we're talking about literally, 7 to 8 months of consistency right here, winning, entry, stop loss, take profit, everything, including setups as well. So we have decided indeed from making it free here to turn it up to $500. So if you're interested in joining us, you can join up and come up and join us for $500. You deposit $500 on your account and you use that money to trade with it. You still don't have to pay us here. But again, this is by far the best, the best example. We want to have winners, and we want to have people that want to win with us, okay? And I just want to have people in our community that just want to take advantage of us right here in that manner, okay? It's not sustainable long term. That's it, okay? If you cannot pay for, if you don't have $500, you can always come up with an idea. We're potentially going to integrate some sort of monthly program or a one-time fee, in order to get access also lifetime to the crypto VIP, or on a monthly basis. We have to figure this stuff out here. But for now, we have changed it to 500, and I think it makes much more sense based upon the results. And, we tried to give it for free in that manner. We still have a free option, but it's just going to be a little bit of a bigger, threshold before getting into the community right there. Hope that makes sense. All right. Thank you, Tim. Absolutely killer. And, it's all love here. And I think that this is just the beginning of something absolutely incredible. And, we had to take some measures right. Okay. So, Polkadot as well. Massive potential here. Okay. Next one is Phantom. Phantom is exactly the same thing. We're talking about, a potential scenario where we, create a super clean area of consolidation, super clean, lake right here in that manner. All right. Look at that. Breaking out, looking for a potential retest right now. You can see that Phantom is already trying to push back a little bit. But if you go back to the 4 hour here, this could already result into another confirmation by breaking the previous highs here. Okay, so we're looking at the 71 cents, for example. That could be a potential breakout scenario that could look for continuation. Another layer could be just a pullback into the 57 cents to also look for a continuation right there here. Whenever you break out of these weekly ranges, like I'm telling you, what I've seen before here is that it's very hard to fall back into that range. It's very hard to fall back into the range, especially, during this sentiment right here. If we pull back another 15%. Well, imagine there is some sort of crash, but we might pull back down to the 53. But again, that's just the sweet spot entry confirmation for further continuation right there. Okay, that's why I think that Phantom is also doing the same thing as what Polkadot is doing here. AVAX is doing here. All of these are still lagging, could say, indicators and currencies that are still a little bit behind here. So you want to look at these type of projects right now. You want to look at sustainable, good, solid projects, proven, have already, been, have seen a bunch, of ups and downs, crashes and so on and so on. And therefore, I think that Phantom and the bigger caps in that matter are fantastic, safer bets to look at, in my opinion. Okay. Another one is Filecoin. Okay. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with Filecoin. An incredible token as well here to look at. You can see that right now we have been breaking above the $10. So, breaking a huge psychological level as well here. But again, what I'm personally looking for is, okay, price for me is kind of irrelevant. I'm simply looking at, what is the previous high on the weekly time frame? Are we breaking it and are we retesting it? And if we're retesting it, then that's your best possible buying opportunity right here. Because, I'm willing to get stopped out a couple of times on that in order to get a fantastic trade opportunity. So for example, you see that you're getting bought up right now on the weekly. Give me 1 second. There we go. Yeah, you see that you're getting butt up already, right? So you had that major breakout on the weekly time frame for Filecoin right here. We're talking about this exact previous resistance right here. Same thing, okay? July 2022. Breakout. Massive lake here. Now you can see that it's starting to wake up. And this is the first time that you're actually looking for a potential scenario where, a massive breakout is still potentially going to come here, okay? Even this move back towards that next level is already a 67% growth, okay? So I want you to be aware of the fact that if you go, that's the next target right here, the $17 for Filecoin. And the reason why I'm saying that is because it doesn't happen that often that you actually break out of a strong weekly zone, a weekly range right here. And especially not retesting it at the same time. So that's why the 9.784 was that level. You came back to it, you tested it, and you're getting bought up, okay? This is where buys start to step in again. And you can see it on the 4 hour already, or even if I could take this to the 30-minute, that this has been massive amount of liquidity building right now. And I'm telling you, it's worth the trade for me personally right now at the moment, okay? I'm talking about now. And then putting my stop loss right below that low here, okay? All right, sitting at 9.5, 9.6, all right? And targeting, you could say the highs here, but I'm targeting much higher, looking for that continuation because it's the weekly breakout, the weekly retest of a breakout, and the lower time frame, in this case, the 1 hour, but also the 30-minute, 50-minute liquidity building that we're seeing to the upside right now, okay? That's the type of retracement you want to look for. That's the type of retracement where I'm personally interested in, especially when you're getting that confirmation right here, okay? So for me, these are, in my opinion, fantastic trade opportunities to look at, okay? Even when the risk is high, okay? Because I assume that you're not going to be a degen. I also assume that you are, following your risk management plan and that you're only looking at a couple, of good projects or something in that manner. Or at least when you risk, you follow the rules and you're not over leveraging your whole account. Then I think this is absolutely a fantastic bet to look at. Filecoin in particular, okay? You already retested it, you're looking for that confirmation. If you really want an extra confirmation on the lower time frame, then I think the only thing that you could look for, is the following break. I need to see real quick here, because you have a fantastic reaction already. Let me take this last swing real quick. Yeah, the point of control is holding up here. No, I'm actually, I'm bullish on this one. Okay, I'm bullish on this one. So this is where I personally would look for a potential trade setup right now. Filecoin is actually at top of my list, and I will put my stop loss right below the lows here. And if you get stopped out, then you just wait for another confirmation and you do it again. And maybe the second or third or fourth time, it's gonna work out, and you're gonna make a shit ton of money. And that's the approach to look out for, okay? So when trading on futures and leverage, okay, you can take some fantastic trade opportunities with that. We'll look at Filecoin right here, okay? Another one that is still interesting and is already kind of topping out here, but I still wanted to highlight this one, is Injective. And Injective is just an absolute incredible project. Let's go to INJ real quick here, okay? And look at what the market cap currently has. We're sitting at $3.6 billion already. So, they're doing a lot of good stuff now. They're working very hard right now. In case you want to know what the project is all about. The same thing, okay? It's pretty much an ecosystem that creates these DEXs, okay? Applications that you can build on for, on every little or every particular blockchain. And you can kind of it's kind of the oracle that you need in order to actually, release whatever you want to do in regards to finance. So financial apps and all that stuff right here. It's a great project. A team is already working for a very long period of time right now. And, if we manage to break above the $41 and we close a weekly candle above it, then hey, this might be another last opportunity here, a final squeeze here, okay? The reason why I'm still giving you, some sort of trading opportunities is because it's really hard to time you know, the top in that matter right now, okay? I think we have still a little bit of time left before we're actually going to see, you know, some sort of strong retracement. And the reason why is because if we come back a little bit further and we come back to the Tether dominance chart, okay? We're now sitting at 4.15%. The 4.83%, we talked about this last week on the stream. We said, if we can break below the 4.83% here, we have our confirmation. That's the bull market confirmation, because what happened in 2022, when we broke above this major level of resistance before, this is when the bear market actually started. So we broke one of the strongest levels, you know, significant break to the downside right here, okay? And right now you can see that the next level of potential, you know, retracement territory, you could say, is right about in this zone here. So based upon that reaction, you know, obviously you're gonna potentially see a potential retracement, and by default, probably Bitcoin will be in an all-time high when that actually happens here. So when the Tether dominance reaches one of these levels right here, okay, talking about the 4%, okay, just take the 4% as an example, then I think that this is something where you start have to pay some more attention to the markets here. But you just wait for that right now. While some of these potential weekly breakouts are there, I mean, for me, it's worth it to take some risk in that matter here. So it's not only about, okay, you know, I think we're going to come down now and, you know, I'm just going to sit on my hands and do nothing and wait for it to happen. No, I'm still willing to enter the market. I'm still willing to potentially take long positions whenever I see, you know, potential setups out there. Filecoin being one of them. But I'm aware of the fact that this is happening. So I just don't want you guys also to not be blindsided by the euphoria, because it's very easy to, you know, get too excited and to just start ignoring even the most important data and the most important charts here. It's kind of, you know, human nature to start forgetting and don't even want to look at these charts here because it's all negative and price can come potentially down and I'm not interested in that. No, everything is bullish, so I'm bullish. Right. That's why I'm a little bit cautious here. But overall, definitely not there yet in that matter. Okay, so quickly wanted to talk about the spot ETFs real quick, okay? Because this is mind-boggling to me right now. Even the Grayscale, okay, has broken their current all-time high right now, okay? We're now sitting at around 59. Okay, this is the all-time high for the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, okay? So we saw, you know, a tremendous amount of influx, and we were super worried about it. And, you know, the moment we start seeing that outflux, for example, in the Grayscale, when the spot ETF came out, we were like, oh, so worried, we're gonna come down. Well, let's just zoom out here. We're talking about this particular move. So forget about the outflux, okay? A lot of money is right now coming into the markets, into the traditional markets, especially, you know, into these ETFs at the moment here. And, you know, just wanted to say that the money has to come from somewhere. And if the money doesn't come from the stock market, because the stock market is at an all-time high, then it has to come from potentially something else, okay? And that's why I want you to also be aware of the following chart. And the reason why this is an important chart is because, you know, we want to understand where the money is coming from. And in this case, also, not only the cryptocurrency market anymore, right? The Tether dominance, the total 1, 2, 3, you name it. Now, we also want to look at potentially, you know, the traditional markets right now, because most of the money that's coming into the markets right now is coming from the traditional markets, especially at the beginning. That's why we saw Bitcoin going up tremendously, but we saw all these altcoins kind of, you know, falling behind, not really following up yet until now, okay? Until, you know, Rito came in and the meme coin season actually started. It actually started already with the AI narrative, by the way. But, you know, very important stuff. So what are we looking at? Well, we have to look at the following chart, okay? And that is the, I'm trying to find it here real quick. The 10-year yield, okay? I want you to be aware of this particular chart right now. On the higher time frame, especially don't focus too much on the lower time frame. Focus on the higher time frame right now, okay? We came down from a staggering 4.3 4.6%. Back down right now to a 4.2% over the last couple of days here. We actually had our high sitting at around 5%. Now potentially looking at a potential continuation to the downside here. So, we were extremely overbought as well in regards to these treasuries right now. And so far, so good. And you can see that we're still looking at more downside here. But, what tends to happen is that it's much more beneficial right now to put your money just in a Bitcoin spot ETF than holding it into, the US government bonds here. So this is also another indicator where it shows that potentially people are selling some of their bonds and putting it into the Bitcoin spot ETF here. Okay, it's still a very, very small scale, but it's still an important chart to potentially look at. At the same time, the stock market is at an all-time high. Gold is running up right now. Gold potentially can rip as well in the very, very short term. I'm also very bullish on gold here. But, I just wanted to pay attention to the fact that if this chart starts to come up aggressively, then, things are starting to line up here. And especially if you go back to the weekly time frame and you start coming back towards this zone. And that is kind of the last zone I was looking at. Okay, it's right off, the 4% to 4.145% right here. When it reaches this area and it comes into this zone, I just want you to pay more attention to, these type of charts right here. Okay, Bitcoin, gold, whatever you trade, and just start paying very close attention to how we respond to, because this could still be a continuation push because we still broke the internal structures to the upside before. And if you look at that, and if that actually starts pushing up again, then of course this is not going to be good for the markets in that manner. Okay, profit taking is a whole other layer as well. Okay, so I hope I created at least enough awareness. Okay, the last thing I wanted to share is the following chart. Okay, and that is the total 3 against the total 1 chart. Okay, and if you don't know how to do it, I'll show you right now. You type in this formula, okay, and it gives you a comparison of multiple different charts, putting them together, and you can see how they're performing against each other. And in this case, what we're trying to do here with this one is we're trying to understand what altcoins are doing against Bitcoin, because it's really nice that we can actually see the total 3 chart, for example. Okay, the total 3 chart is sitting right here, facing major resistance, by the way. So do pay very close attention to that threshold as well here. You can see that this is that resistance right now. It's sitting at a $670 billion. So 670 billion is actually where we came from, I believe also in March when the bear market started right now. So everything's synchronized, everything is aligned here. But the problem with just this chart is that it's very hard to see and understand what this chart, which is the altcoins, right? The total market cap excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, is doing against Bitcoin. All right, and that's why we have the total 3 against the total 1 chart. Okay, so we know kind of exactly how Bitcoin is performing against altcoins and the other way around. And I kind of have some good news as well, because what we have seen here is that from a technical standpoint, we kind of took out the lows here. It swiped the lows. It shoot up. Okay, it started to consolidate in an uptrend here. It started to break down. Same thing as what we're seeing here. So we saw that breakdown right now. It's now coming back to a lower low, higher high formation. And if you draw the Fibonacci from there here, we're talking about the potential 618 here, right now tapping into this zone on the weekly time frame. So I want to be aware of this particular zone right now. And the first thing that we saw was a really nice reaction from it already. So look at that. We tapped into it. And, you're seeing kind of that reaction here. So what I think could happen here is that, after this reaction, internally, we're looking for confirmations. But if you get that confirmation, particularly breaking the 0.29, okay, and you can do the same thing by, copying this formula, the 0.29, this is, in my opinion, an amazing confirmation for a potential continuation to the upside, gaining more dominance. So this means that altcoins will gain some more dominance over Bitcoin. Okay, you can also look at the Bitcoin dominance chart, of course, but it's always nice to have an extra confirmation from a higher time frame standpoint here to just understand how these things are performing against each other, how the total market caps, are battling against each other right now, and to understand the money flow a little bit better. Okay, so Bitcoin dominance sitting at 55%. or we're heading to that direction here. I think we're still pushing up, okay? And I think this is the moment for Bitcoin to give it a go. We have 6 days and 8 hours left for a weekly closure. Every single time when we came above, because we came above it previously, the last days before the weekly closure, we started to turn around. And we started to break and close below it here. So the 54.1% for the Bitcoin dominance is still that major resistance right now at the particular moment. You're breaking through it. So you want to see a weekly closure above it in around 7 days from now. Okay. So when the Sunday closes here, you want to see that. Because if that happens, there's a big chance that Bitcoin potentially will continue its momentum here towards the 57%. All right. Which is the previous low of that expansion. And again, this is where we created massive support before. And when we started to push up aggressively all the way to the 73% here. Again, the moment we broke this one is when the actual real bull market started of 2021. This was the break of the 29th of March 2021 to be exact, at 57.22%. I think that's a clear target to potentially look for a lower high. Okay, so when talking about incredible moment to look for new potential trade setups and stuff in altcoins and potential long-term spot holdings, you know, for example, you know, imagine the Tether dominance will bounce from a low like this one, or it comes down towards the lows right here. Okay, and it starts bouncing and the Bitcoin dominance shoots up, because what you will see is that altcoins will sell off much faster than Bitcoin does. The Bitcoin dominance will come up as well. Okay, then the Tether dominance could, by definition, potentially reach its resistance right now, which was previous support. It could be again a major resistance that we saw before. So again, that could be the perfect retest, followed by a continuation push to the downside right here. Okay, and the reason why I'm saying that is because if this happens, and the Tether dominance is gonna get to the 4.83%. and the Bitcoin dominance will get to the 57.22%. From an investment perspective, altcoins, I think that's the sweet spot. Okay, unless you're already in, I think that's the sweet spot for me to start stacking onto my backshare. So we're still cash heavy and not fully deployed yet, even now, because I truly believe that, you know, more opportunities will follow along the way. And I think these 57.22% for the Bitcoin dominance and a potential rejection at the 4.83%, you know, turning support into resistance, looking for further continuation to the downside. You know, I think that these things are aligning and could provide us with a fantastic opportunity. From a very simple perspective, that means that more money will come back into Tether. People are, you know, gonna take some profits. They're gonna wait. The Bitcoin dominance shoots up because, you know, people are tempted to hold on to their spot ETF. Yet people are selling their altcoins. That's why the Bitcoin dominance shoots up. And in the moment they're both in resistance, that's the moment that I'm like, okay, it's time to deploy again, new back, and then look for a next continuation, you know, to the upside for the altcoins as well here. So again, the confirmation is not there yet. Okay, we still have, you know, 6 days to go for that actual weekly candle closure. This is just the beginning of the month also, but just in case, you know, we're getting a closure above here, then again, another signal to be a little bit cautious with altcoins right now. Okay, and then maybe another signal to start taking some profits if you are in amazing spot positions right there. Okay, there's nothing better than taking profits, waiting for a dip and buy back in, you know, to just increase your backs over time. Hope that makes sense. Okay, so the Bitcoin dominance, fantastic. Tether dominance as well. Now the total tree is also in that layer of resistance right here, and Bitcoin is shooting up towards the $67,000 now. It is unbelievable. Okay, I think it's time to have a look at the chat here and to see what we have here. If we can do some analysis right now, can start looking at some setups from you guys as well here. But again, this is by default a major step forward. Okay, a very interesting step forward, especially because of the fact that the halving, the Bitcoin halving, is not even there yet. Okay, so that's why also take consideration that what people tend to do is they tend to hold on to all their positions, and then the halving comes and crushes everyone in a very, very short term. So, you know, it's not that far away anymore before we are actually seeing some sort of Bitcoin halving. We don't know exactly what the exact date will be, but you know, we can actually look it up right now in regards to the amount of blocks that need to be mined yet. Simply by looking at the Bitcoin halving countdown. Okay, I think we're roughly a month and a half away. Month and a half away. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There we go. Robert says gold is at an all-time high now. Is that so? Is that so? It's gonna be good for tomorrow's stream. It's gonna be awesome. Let's see. Let's see what gold is doing real quick. Yep. Yes. We're almost there. 2155. We're getting very, very close here. Thank you, Youth, is selling off. Of course, this is extremely bullish for gold as well. Okay. Is it more worth to invest or to trade crypto in the bull market? I think a healthy balance between investing and trading is the best thing you can do. Because there are things that are called passive investing and active investing. If we're talking about passive investing, I think that, you know, understanding the fundamentals behind the project, understanding what drives the market, and understanding also, you know, narratives and potential, you know, narratives that can explode, you know, and understanding that usually we're seeing rotations happening from one narrative to another. I think that's one way of looking at the market. I think that spot buying is in many cases much safer than trading. But I think in regards to active investing, especially if you do not have that much money yet at the beginning, I think it's a great way to start getting familiar with the market, to gain a lot of experience in a very short period of time. So I think that a combination and a healthy balance between active and passive investing and trading is the best thing that we can do here. Obviously, the more money you have to trade with, you know, the easier it becomes here, because you do not have to chase, you know, these high returns to feel that you're making money in the market. But at the same time, it's crypto, man. You can turn, you know, a small account into a bigger account with the right risk parameters, or you know, with the right risk management as well. And you know, I think that you have a lot of potential in both ways. It's personal preference in many ways. However, I think that a healthy balance in between is the best thing to do until, you know, you're reaching certain highs in the market here. Then I think that trading becomes much more relevant, because you're going to see, you know, a significant less, how do you say that? It's going to be less interesting to start investing at the top, but more interesting to still start trading at the top, or the same level of interest at the top. Yeah, if I said it right. So yeah, gold is absolutely insane. Crazy stuff. Marton says looking for HGI. 15-minute great trend line. Liquidity building, also have a great range below for magic touch. I like that word, magic touch. Yeah, let's look at it here. Let me also look at Filecoin one more time here, because I'm actually very interested to see how we react at these lows right now. Roughly around the 9.9. Let me quickly, give me one moment. Not this one right here. Let me see, from the low to the high. The 9.86. Yeah, you could see that this was the point of control internally. So that's why we didn't enter. Yet, at least. We didn't enter yet. Let's see how we react around this zone. Around this arrow of the month here. I'm very interested in actually taking a trade. Yeah, today. Or right now, maybe even. If we get there. So, let's set an alert real quick. There we go. Okay, fantastic. AGI. Let's have a look at AGI. Let's look at the 50-minute. The weekly, though, always highlight these weekly levels just to look at it. Yeah, we're coming back to that zone, right? It's a nice zone to look at for sure. I do agree with you. 1, 2. What I would love to see though is the following. So I would love to see retracement into this box, this zone. Whatever this box is, this demand, right? And then I want to see at least somewhat of an expansion first before we go. Yeah. Can also be on a 50-minute indeed, depending on how the move is, something like that. I would love to look at an entry as well, but that's just because we're having this. We had that really nice expansion to the upside, and we came down roughly from the top. I think this was already a nice 26%, pullback. That is looking quite solid overall. Okay. Lorenzo, is there any tool for quantity in crypto? Like we have Forex calculators to call lot size calculator or something similar for crypto. So many futures, platforms have that already integrated. So you should be able to have these calculators to track it for yourself here. But I think that you can just type in, and depending if you trade futures or spot, but a futures crypto calculator, and I think you should find something very, very nice here. I think that's something you should look at. There we go. There are a bunch of things to look at, bro. No worries. Okay. So yeah, potential buy zone here for me. Again, it's the weekly confirmation, right? So it's the weekly breakout. All right. So if you come back here to this zone, you have a weekly breakout potentially. We have a breakout. We have a confirmation because we have a closure already. So we're holding above strong weekly support right now. And then on the lower time frame, we're creating that liquidity at this particular moment. We bounced from the mid of the range, the mid of that expansion. And internally, we're starting to look very, very good here. So, we swiped the lows already. We created a higher high. So the only thing that I'm interested in right now is to look for a confirmation. It's either going to be a breakout above the 10, or it's going to be a pullback followed by a continuation here. So Altcoin might be some of a potential entry point. Stop loss below the low. If you want to play it safe, of course you can do it here because your target is so big. You want to at least target the highs already, but preferably below the low, of course. And then potentially look for reaction here. So yeah, Altcoin is definitely on my radar. Let me see. Let me see where you're from. I'm from the Netherlands. We've been trading for a long period of time already. We're now back into the cryptocurrency markets as well. We started a new channel. So we're chilling here. Okay. Do you have a long-term portfolio, Lorenzo? Yeah, I have a for sure long-term portfolio. Absolutely. There are a couple of narratives I'm focusing on. I decided myself that I'm going to be trading everything, but I'm not going to invest in every narrative. I'm going to focus on a couple narratives which I personally believe in, and to really be knowledgeable about that particular narrative. One of these narratives is crypto gaming. Crypto gaming is kind of taking it easy right now, but at the same time, it's going to rotate, right? And I think the next logical step after the meme coin hype is either going to be AI again, or it's going to be gaming. So it's going to be one of these two narratives, which I'm very, very excited about. And, heavily stacked in this narrative here. And I think this is going to be, it's going to explode. It's going to explode over time. But yeah, I have a couple of sub portfolios. Gaming is indeed one of them. Okay. Let's see what else we have. We have Chainlink as well. Okay, Chainlink. Who is the Chainlink degen here? Who is the Chainlink degen here? I think that, you know, in Chainlink we trust. Okay? In Chainlink we trust. I see a lot of potential for this one. Okay? And also looking for that further, you know, continuation up here. Roughly to around $23 for Chainlink. Okay? We already had that resistance at 21.8 right now. Very simple weekly resistance right here. I think it's gonna be a matter of time before we're gonna try to get in. Why? Because we broke out. Best investment ever here. That leg was absolutely ridiculous. Breakout, pullback, breakout, significant break of the weekly resistance, turning it into support, confirmation, lower time frame, confirmation, followed by pullbacks that immediately get bought up right now. I think that we are on the daily time frame looking very, very nice. And I think that once we come back down a little bit further, because I want to see price pushing down a little bit further back towards the 19.3, that's where I'm going to start buying some more Chainlink as well here. Okay, targeting the 22 and the $24 right there. Okay, so roughly sitting around 19.4-ish. And the reason why is because if you draw the fib from the swing low to swing high here, you have the 618. You have a really nice structure. This was the last serious candle before a major amount of volume came into the market or entered the market. Breaking the internal highs. Now looking for a higher low, looking for that continuation as well here. So Chainlink is still one of my favorite, you know, you could say oracles out there. The team have been investing a lot of their own money, have been selling a lot of Chainlink tokens already for years. That's why it never reaches the true potential, but it all went into development. And you can now see a curve wherein it shows that the actual amounts of selling comes down heavily right now. So we might experience some sort of supply shock for Chainlink in the near future right here as well. Just another one to take consideration. I'm a big fan of Chainlink right here, okay? In Chainlink we trust. Chainlink we trust, okay? By the way, if you see this on the weekly time frame, just buy it. Just buy it. No, I'm joking. But when you see a breakout here, okay? And when you have that actual confirmation and you actually retrace back and you flip bullish, this is the ultimate buy here. You can say, okay, I'm buying at like $6. Fantastic. I mean, good on you. You bought the lows, the all-time lows, like let's say. Or at least, you know, looking back at the previous run coming down. That initial first closure was sitting around the $9, right? So the 9.5 was his first actual weekly candle formation that actually closed above it. So if you see a range and you close above the range and then the next candle comes up and it flips bullish, then, you know, you could have easily bought at $10 and look, you know, and look for further continuation. The reason why people don't do that is because they feel that they're too late already. But at the same time, you know, two things, okay? If you can invest in a project, fantastic. You can invest in a project, you can hold it for a long period of time. Be my guest, okay? Fantastic. You can start investing in it, you can start holding it, and you can start accumulating it into your portfolio. This is what I'm doing with gaming right now. Okay, a bunch of projects that I'm invested in have not even exploded yet, have not even shown, you know, a little bit of potential from a technical perspective here. But I've seen some sort of breakout confirmations as well. So that's one way of looking at it, you know, from your portfolio. The other way is by just understanding these weekly breakouts, okay? Weekly breakouts are usually the most trusted breakouts out there. Why? Because, you know, it's a weekly candle, right? A lot of information, a lot of data, a lot of volume goes into a weekly candle. And when you get these closures above a certain level and the next weekly candle comes down, opens bearish and flips bullish, you can say, yeah, okay, like I could have bought it at $6, but at the same time, you could have also bought it right there and not knowing that you're going to be sitting in a run or sitting in, you know, in position for, you know, another year and a half before it finally starts moving. So because of that, when you get that confirmation and breakout, yes, you buy higher, but your money is giving you, you know, straight up cash, straight up returns right away. And that's sometimes the better way of doing it when, you know, applying the compounding method and utilizing momentum to, you know, speed up the process of profits, okay? Because you can put that money back into other projects that are doing the same thing, and you can just keep compounding over and over and over again. So I'm a big believer of weekly compounding and weekly candle formations, weekly candle closures, and weekly candle breakouts, okay? That's just another thing to take consideration. Sometimes it's better to get in on momentum than getting at the bottom and being stuck in a position. If you bought it right here, however, you're an absolute G. You're an absolute an absolute G. Okay. Great timing there. All right. Is this the last crypto bull run? From my understanding, I truly believe that this is the last time, and it's really hard to say because I'm not a magician. Okay. But what I can say is that this is gonna be a massive super cycle. Okay. We had the early adopters. Okay. We had, for the first time, you know, kind of a really big exposure in 2018 and 2021 towards the market. 2021 was insane. Shit ton of money printing, of course, right? You know, you name it. Everyone's sitting at home. Everyone had time to trade, to invest right now. But now we're at a stage where institutions are getting involved. And when institutions are getting involved legally, this is usually where, you know, you could say, you know, this might be the final squeeze in the market. And the reason why is because it's not by definition that the institutional capital is the final capital that comes into the market. It's more has to do with control and the fact that the moment institutions get in, they gain control over a particular industry. And I think this is what they're trying to do, is they're trying to gain control over Bitcoin. So the only way to gain control over Bitcoin is by, you know, for sure, have most of the money invested in it. So literally control the supply. That's one layer that you want to do. You want to control the supply as much as possible. You want to buy up all the mining factories, right? All the Bitcoin mining networks. And you want to make sure that you know, are actually holding more than 75%, if not more, or 90% of all the Bitcoin mining operations in the world. And you're trying to combine that, you know, and gain a significant leverage here. From that, regulations come into play. From that, all the rules and regulations, you know, will start coming along, and it will not be as easy as it was before. Then, you know, or especially not when, you know, everything was no KYC, where you could sign up for no particular reason. You could literally sign up, put money on an account, and start trading with it. And now most crypto exchanges already have the KYC. I think in the near future, though, you will see that a lot more complicated rules will be integrated to make it much harder for you to, you know, be as involved as you are right now. So my suggestion is really take advantage of this last final massive super cycle that is yet to come here. And I think that you're still early. I truly believe that you're still early, and you can look at the total tree chart and already see, you know, how much we still have left here. Even if you just zoom out here, this is one massive upwards trajectory, and I think that we are just getting started and warmed up. Also from a technological standpoint, okay, you can see right now that all the projects that you see, like the big projects in crypto, they're turning into actual projects. It's no longer a concept. It's actually starting to gain some sort of utility right now. So whenever that happens as well, again, another layer where you could say that everything is starting to come into place and is working. So yeah, I think this is the last cycle, personally. Okay. Curious to your opinion. Let me know what you think. What is your observation? Do you agree with my my standpoint, or you think I'm a retard? I mean, hey, it could be. Particularly talking about a super cycle. So last like a massive expansion here. I think that in the end, we're still going to have ups and downs. We're constantly going to be trending. But in regards to big money entering the markets and taking advantage of this and understand the money flow and the transition, I mean, hey, I think that, you know, we're looking at some sort of opportunity here, okay? So back to Filecoin, where are we? I think the alert didn't go off yet, right? No, we didn't have that confirmation yet. All right. Yeah, keep a close eye on it. Lorenzo, when is LTA Concepts coming? LTA Concepts is coming this month. I'm very happy and proud to announce that we have finally been able to create our own system, our hybrid system that you probably have not seen on YouTube before. Okay, we're going to utilize volume and price, and you know, the volume profile is a big deal. It's a big tool we use, but the volume profile by itself is not LTA Concepts, of course, right? It's a, you know, it's one layer, it's one factor in our overall strategy, and I can't wait to share it, man. I'm very excited, working very hard on it, and you know, it took yeah, you could say years to develop. I mean, I've been in the game for years now, been trying to trade for years now. Always tried out different things. I found that for me, this works the best. So, large bear market accumulation ranges, yes sir. That's what we see with Link indeed. Couple more, let's do a couple more, guys. We're already streaming for like an hour and 15 minutes right now, so let's do a couple more charts here. And if Filecoin comes down, I might take this trade, so you know. What are we seeing currently in Bitcoin? Yeah, let's quickly go back to Bitcoin as well here. We have to pay very close attention now because we're up 5%. Okay, a little bit of a retracement. Nothing to worry about here. We could easily flip this into support and look for continuation still. So 65.6 to be honest, to be exact. A couple other ones. Let's see. XRP. I want to look at XRP. Bruh. Yeah, it's like, what's going on, man? It's yeah, like I said, it's one of the weirdest weekly charts I've seen so far. Because, you know, we're kind of holding above that trend for a very long period of time after we came down. But when talking about accumulation, what tends to happen is that you want to see something like this. You want to start accumulating either flat or you want to start accumulating down. So that means that you're going to see something like this here for a very long period of time and then a breakout. Not the other way around, okay? Not something like this without creating higher highs here, okay? We saw that massive expansion at to $1. I remember that very vividly. We saw the breakout. It gained like a 90%. I think it was 90%. Yeah, 99%. And we then started to come down. We then created a lower high. So very interesting what Chainlink is doing at the moment. It's trying to come back to life though. It's trying to do something, at least from like a you know, a daily range. It's starting to look like we're breaking out though. So yeah, interesting. We might see a final squeeze finally back towards the dollar for XRP here. Okay, I'm not a big XRP degen, but I just see that confirmation, and I mean just pay very close attention to the way it's developing here. A lot of guys are extremely bullish on XRP, of course, being its you know, having its partnership with the WEF and all that stuff. So it is interesting, but it's also very strange. I've never seen a chart like this before in that manner. So yeah, keep a very close eye on that one. Marton, thank you for sharing. C98 and alt. C98. 277 million. Okay. Oh, nice. Yeah, that's beautiful, Mr. Marton. We're in the tunnel right now. Okay, we call this a tunnel. This is a tunnel play. Okay. The moment you broke this level of resistance right here, you entered the tunnel. Okay, what do I mean with that? That means that we have another layer of resistance sitting right in between, but it's not really resistance. It's just also not really a place where a lot will happen here. There's a big chance you start consolidating in between that range for a while until you break out of that tunnel again. So the best thing to look at it is just simply to buy low and to look for a potential pull. But if it doesn't close above it, taking profits is never a bad idea because of the fact that you can start coming down again. And you can do this over and over again. And it's like a 20% window. And it's, you know, I've seen many times before where you start seeing this. You come up, down, up, down, up, down. And then break, you know, massive consolidation followed by a breakout here. So I think that if you buy here and sell here, fantastic. If you don't want to sell, then wait for confirmation. But you can also sell, keep doing it. And if it then breaks out still, and you wait for the retest, you get it back in again. So you get in for the same price, but then with the confirmation. Potential targets. I would say back towards the $60 cents right here. Okay. Is it too late to invest in crypto? No, a lot of particular projects have massive potential. Talking about short term. Yeah, I think that you are going to see better prices for your money. Lower prices for your money. I think you're going to see potential, you know, one more pullback here. And I think that most of these funding rates do not lie. When the funding rates are this high, when the crypto fear and greed is at an all-time high this year, okay, at 82, when Bitcoin is reaching its all-time high, when you know that there is a significant amount of liquidity building happening as well at the same time, right? Looking at the liquidation heat map below the $61,000. I mean, I do take that definitely in consideration. So what I like to do as well, in case you're talking about investing, for example, is to just always set your limit orders below. And if price keeps moving up, what you then do is you move up your limit orders. And you make sure that there is around a 50%, you know, a 15% gap in between the all-time high and in between the actual limit order. But it depends on each chart. It could be different for each chart in regards to the percentage. But the best way to look at it is by just drawing, for example, 4-hour swings and to look at the low of the swing and to take it to the high of the swing, okay? And then to look at the high and look at the 62%. And if the continuation continues, you just draw the Fibonacci up and then you move your limit order up. Because what I've seen so many times when a flash crash occurs, I've seen a potential retracement into the 618 aggressively, so a massive wick and an immediate continuation. You guys have not seen it this year yet, but it will come, guaranteed. I wish I could give you some examples here. It will guarantee, it will come, okay? So when trading or investing, for example, and you're looking at 4-hour swings, okay, this is a swing low and this is a swing high, and you're starting to push up here, then I right now would put in place, for example, a limit order at Polkadot, let's say, at 8.676. And if price goes up to, now let's say, oh, sorry, not 8.676, 8.4. And if price goes up to $12 and we're still in that swing, that same swing point, then now I'm placing my limit order at $9. So I'm moving on my limit order. And the idea is that you, in a flash crash, directly get triggered and immediately be in position. I had potential entries here, okay? And Gavin can confirm it because Gavin and I have been working together where we entered a position in VeChain, and it was my best trade at the time. I saw a potential flash crash coming. I knew that the funding rates were extremely high, and I placed a limit order right at a certain level when I had that, potential scenario, anticipated, where I drew the Fibonacci and I placed it in a 4-hour swing point. Okay, so let's look at Ethereum, for example. We're now up, and this is still a low. They swing low right here. Okay, we're now at the high right here, and this is really significant. So in this case, I would say, 2,900 back to the 50% or the 618. But anyways, I put my limit order there. A flash crash occurred on a Monday afternoon. It came down 20% in one candle, and it immediately got bought up and recovered within the next 4 hours, and it was back at the highs. So I got triggered and I immediately came up here. So when looking at some projects which I believe in, when talking about investing or even trading futures leverage, I've been trading this way potentially when the fund rates are extremely high, and it usually gave me the most spot on entries possible. So I want you to test it out for yourself with a minimum amount of money and let me know if it works. I'm telling you, okay? Funding rates high, swing high, right? Fibonacci, limit orders, flash crash. This is the moment and this is the time with this amount of volume in the market where you're gonna start seeing candles like that, where one candle could be a 15% dump or 20% dump in a matter of seconds, followed by an immediate recovery. Okay? So I just wanted to let you guys know. And that might be something interesting to look at. Lorenzo, my man, hello from the UK. Not see you in a while. Popped in to say hello. What's happening, brother? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Okay. Vicky says, what happened to Theta? Had an alert set when a level broke and just smashed up. Let's see. Vicky, how's it going? How are you doing right now? You're probably killing it right now. Absolutely killing it. Theta, yeah, but Theta's in resistance right now though. Weekly resistance, do take that into consideration. We're almost there at least. Yeah, we're in resistance right now. Okay. Hey Lorenzo, what do I do if I want to join the crypto VIP, but I'm already resistant with Bybit? So we have a couple other opportunities for you as well. So we do not only work with, let me see. We work with a couple other exchanges. We work with Maxi. We work with Bybit. We work with BitCat. I'm personally using BitCat. And we're working with Phoenix right now, okay? Phoenix is a non-KYC exchange. You can utilize Phoenix as well. It's a great exchange right now. I've been talking with some managers in there as well. They're doing their best to grow, and they're growing in a very rapid pace as well. And they do not have any KYC requirements. The only thing that you have to do is you fill in your basic information, but you do not have to upload any of your IDs here. So you can also sign up on Phoenix, and it should be no problem. Okay, so the way to do it is you sign up. You click on the link in the description so you can choose between Phoenix and BitCat or Bybit or Maxi. You have to go get VIP access right here. If you want to get access to our winning signals, of course. You click on get access. You deposit $500 on your account. Okay. This is the money that you use to follow, Tim's signals with. All right. And yeah, you're going to start making money with us. Right? Proven right now. No more doubts. Proven. Okay. Again, a beautiful way of joining here. All right. So that's the way of doing it. Get VIP access and click on one of these exchanges and sign up. Okay. It's a win-win. Otherwise, you would just give the money to the exchange. I'd rather give it to, you know, to Tim and to people in our community that provide value. That would be amazing. Okay. Last one I wanted to say here, I think, and I think I'm gonna, you know, squeeze it up here. I think that one more I'm looking at, like I said before, is the Filecoin setup. Where's Filecoin right now? What's Filecoin doing? All right, we're coming down. Okay, beautiful. Yeah, so if price reaches, let's say, the 9.9, I'm gonna pay very close attention here because we're seeing a little bit of a retracement. Nothing crazy yet here. Go to the 5-minute on the Tether dominance. Okay, fantastic. So it's this zone. It's shooting up here. No, this is looking great. This is looking great. Yeah, let's see how we react in that zone here. But Filecoin is definitely on my radar in regards to a long setup here, and the reason why is because of the fact that we're now so close to a potential scenario where on the weekly time frame we have that retest, and you know, what tends to happen is that this strong weekly resistance could turn into strong weekly support. So it's the combination of the higher time frame with the lower time frame. So I'm willing to get even stopped out a couple times on the lower time frame to get into a position to potentially then go for that one big trade. And that one big trade is coming. Okay. And when you see that happening here and you manage to stay above it, you know, and you get in on the lower time frame, obviously your risk to reward is going to be, you know, ridiculous. And therefore automatically you can fail a couple times to still end up profitable at the end. So that's kind of the way I'm looking at it right now. At the same time, we're nicely bouncing from this range and we created an internal higher high. So fill, potentially very nice. I'll place my entry right at 9.9, put my stop loss around to 9.7. But I also could simply put it below the low here at 9.6 because the target is so significant right there. Okay. So that all depends on the Tether dominance right now, but both opportunities are interesting. I would just place it below the low and look for another entry again, if that's the case here. You know, risk 1% or a couple percent, get stopped out, look for a new entry if the opportunity presents itself, and get yourself into an amazing position. Can Bitcoin hit 100K this year? I can never say for certain that Bitcoin will reach the 100K this year. But based upon all these catalysts or all these potential scenarios where we could experience some sort of catalyst right here, I would say that it's likely. It's likely. I mean, we're talking about a Bitcoin halving. That implies a massive supply squeeze, right? A supply shock. Why? Because, you know, the daily rewards for the miners will be split by 50%. Yet the influx in the spot ETF is getting bigger and bigger. So the interest is actually getting bigger and is growing. There is literally not enough Bitcoin right now on Coinbase for people to buy. So think about that. There is literally a lack of supply and availability at this particular moment. So, you know, just that factor by itself should already be, you know, a massive indicator, right? The Bitcoin halving in combination with the spot ETF here. But then there are a couple other things that could be extremely important, also from a retail standpoint. I think we're going to see a lot of money printing happening again. So I think, you know, the money printer is going to start rocking soon, due to the fact that, you know, the current all-time debt of retail is literally at an all-time high, credit card debt, and so on and so on. So people are going to have massive problems very soon, if not already. Okay. At the same time, all the geopolitical situation in the world are not looking that fantastic. Okay. You guys know exactly what's going on in the world, and it's not looking better. So people are starting to look for hedges, hedges against inflation, hedges against the dollar, potential collapse, you name it. So, put all of these things together and, there's a big chance that Bitcoin will reach its 100K this year. If not more, but you never know. You never know. There is no certainty here in this industry. Okay. I'm just looking at what is the potential and how likely is it. That's it. 900 reward will be reduced to 450, and the daily spot ETF of Bitcoin is more than 10,000. That's exactly what I mean. Yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I still want to look at this this particular setup here. What is the best narrative for altcoins? What is the best narrative for altcoins? I would say meme coins. And the reason why it's the best narrative right now at the moment is because the awareness is coming back. Retail is coming back. And the only way to trigger retail and to get them back into the market and to make them believe again in the chance that they can make a bunch of money is by exploding all of these meme coins. So it's the easiest way to tell somebody to buy a dog coin rather than to buy in some sort of layer 2 Z-swap incomparable narrative hopper indicator project, because it's too hard to understand and to explain. So, I think the easier narratives are going to be, literally the narratives that are going to be the easiest to understand for people as well. So, number one, meme coins. Even meme coin narrative for sure. It's the easiest way to get into the market, to get familiar. Secondary is AI, of course, right? We all know that AI is taking over. At least everyone knows now that AI is the next big thing. So it's easy for people to just randomly start investing in AI coins as well. And the third one, like I said before, is going to be gaming, crypto gaming. And the reason why I believe in gaming so much is because I believe that a lot of people are going to be sitting at home in the near future where VR is actually taking over, where the development of games is at an all-time high in regard of rendering. Okay, it's almost impossible to see the difference between live, right, and a game, because the difference between a game right now and currently what we're seeing here, what currently is already released, I think the biggest difference between, well, let's say, I mean, just look at it. Look at games that were created 10 years ago and look at some of these games right now and draw your own conclusion. Do that times 10. And it's indistinguishable from reality. It's almost impossible to see the difference between real life and between a real game. So we might be living in a simulation already. I'm not sure. Okay. But gaming is the easiest thing to understand. At the same time, I think that a lot of people will start falling in love with the fact that you could start making money in game. And I think that crypto was exactly what gaming needed. And I think gaming is exactly what crypto needs in that matter as well. I think these things are going hand in hand here, because if you can incorporate an in-game currency and you can turn that into an actual real-world asset and turn it into something that has true real utility, then I do believe that it's going to be extremely attractive for people to use, and especially people that have no job or something. They heard a story from their neighbor and they say, hey man, did you know that you could play this game and you could start making $50 a day by, defeating, these type of monsters right there in that, whatever, right? I think that this is just something absolutely incredible. And I do believe that, based upon the information, the research that I've done, is that some of these games right now are in a really, really, really good development, okay? The problem at the beginning was that it was all concept. And we saw a major gaming run, yet it was all purely based on ideas and it was not existent. We're now 3-4 years further and the development continued. So now you're actually starting to see good games releasing, like high quality games releasing that are actually compatible with, for example, the Call of Duties, the MMORPGs, the World of Warcrafts, right? The RuneScapes, they're like the real big games out there. And that's what I'm waiting for. And that's what I believe in. So that's another one. Gambling. The gambling narrative goes then again hand in hand with gaming, right? You have the gaming, you have the gamblefy narrative as well. I think the gamblefy narrative will also perform incredible over the next couple of months and years. I do believe that the gamblefy sector is also lagging and is also, you know, looking much more interesting from like a crypto perspective rather than, you know, depositing your own dollars and stuff into these gamblefy projects. Yeah, stake.com is a great example. Look how fast stake.com is growing. You know, they're utilizing crypto as a medium, yet it's not actually used as an in-game, let's say, currency yet. But you know, it's coming. It's coming. Yeah, gaming always had technically illegal sales online crypto. Just give the platform to do it for real. Yeah, absolutely. So what happened was, for example, there are a lot of games that came out. And what happened after that was that, you know, in order to launch a game, the only thing that you have to do is you have to just come up with a nice render, okay? Like a rendering of a game. It's not actually a real game. You then shoot a video, create some sort of demo, right? And say, look, this is my gameplay. And then, you know, you start showing it around. And then what you do is you start building these NFTs. And you say, okay, this is what's going to come in-game. So you can buy these NFTs right now to get access early. You know, and people love the project, love the game. It looks amazing, blah, blah, blah. And they start buying these NFTs. And then they realize the game never gets released. Or it was all a joke or a setup. So we have seen that before in, let's say, 2021. But now you actually start seeing some serious games coming out here. And it makes sense after 3-4 years of development. Okay. So, you know, you have to do really, really good research in this narrative. But I think if you focus on that narrative and you focus on the research itself, I mean, there are a lot of great YouTube channels out there to find more information. Then you will come across hidden gems right now. That's it. Cowboy says I'm good to go again. Maybe Asia later. That would be amazing. That would be absolutely amazing. Incredible. Just to clarify, guys, in our crypto VIP, we also have these sessions here. I think they took around 4 trades in the last stream, which is absolutely insane. You can find it right here in the VIP chat. I think we're talking about it. It's also recorded. Okay. So in case you want to watch the previous session, Funbox actually recorded it. So you can watch it back and you can you see what they're actually doing here. But you know, our community gets better, stronger every day. I love to see it. Absolutely love to see it. Okay, we're going to see a little bit of a pullback here. I'm going to wait for Bitcoin to come back towards the 65,600 before looking for that position here. Filecoin is on my radar. I'm going to look at it. I'm going to leave you guys for now. I think we have been talking about crypto long enough here. You know exactly how I'm thinking about the markets right now. Okay. We are in a euphoric stage. There are definitely some projects out there with an incredible amount of potential. You can see it right now at the moment. At the same time, I do want you to be careful. I do want you to understand that the funding rates are getting extremely high. The 0.1% is the absolute limit. Okay, the absolute limit. That's like ultimate danger zone. Okay, so be aware of that. When you reach the 0.1% here, be aware of the fact that that might be the turner, okay? Like I said, extremely greed, 82, highest of the year, okay? Bitcoin almost at all-time highs. Shiba Inu went from a $5.7 billion market cap to a $20 billion market cap in the last 7 days, okay? You know how insane that is? That should cause also some worries, okay? So yes, there are opportunities out there, yet pay very close attention because most of them right now are in critical weekly resistance right here. Okay, I hope you you at least learned something today here. Anyways, you guys are crushing it already. Tim is crushing it. Cowboy is crushing it. The team is crushing it. The people in our community are taking over. So the only thing that I can do is to create the awareness and to give you a little bit of a macro understanding on a day-to-day basis here. I'm looking forward to host you as well. Again, this is just the start of something beautiful. This is the beginning of something very, very nice. And I'm very proud of you guys, everyone who sticked with us from the beginning, because it's finally paying off. Okay, patience pays. Okay, fantastic stuff here. Tomorrow I'm going to be trading Forex. I'm going to trade gold. Gold is also at an all-time high. So if you want to see me trade gold live here, we're taking around 1 or 2 trades a stream. So it's going to be awesome. I hope you guys are going to see there. And LTA Concepts, our own system, is going to get released. So one more time, if you're interested in joining our crypto VIP, you know what to do. Go to the Get VIP Access channel in our Discord, click on the instructions, and you know, follow up, sign up, and get in. Okay, start following Tim's signals and make some money with us. Thank you guys so much, man. Have an amazing stream, amazing rest of your day. And I'm gonna see you very soon. Thank you. Bye-bye. Take care.